There we go. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
My name's Bianca. What's your name?
Sandra.
Right. It's great to see you again.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but from our last conversation, I basically said that anything that we discuss is going to be confidential. Nobody else will know about it. But as a mandated reporter, if you mention harming yourself or somebody else, I will have to report that.
Yeah.
So what brings you in today?
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of like stressed out with like school right now. It was a big like transition coming from a smaller high school into a 4-year university.
Yeah. Where was your high school located?
It was in Burlington, so it's 20 minutes south.
From here.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's harder because you chose a school that's like out here, or would you have preferred to done like something community college, like a lot closer?
Now that I'm here and like how to take like all of like the GURs as well as like different classes, I kind of was thinking about like how different it would have been if I went to like a community college and then like a transfer degree for 2 years. Seeing that there's a community college that's really close to like my house, I could have stayed like close to home, but like I feel there's just like a big change coming from like a high school where everyone knew each other to a 4-year university that's primarily white.
Correct me if I'm mistaken, but does it seem like you kind of regret it, like coming over here to Western instead of like staying at a community college?
I don't regret it, but like I find myself like just like wondering like how different things would have been if I would have done that.
Do you think anything would have still remained the same?
That's hard to say, but I feel like I wouldn't have been able to like make the connections that I made my freshman year, which I'm grateful for that I didn't make like those connections, but also it would have been a way for me to like save money or like maybe even like form different connections at the community college.
I know that you repeated like money twice now, or maybe 3 times. Is that like a big stress factor?
Yeah, I feel like it always is. Like there's like bills over here, bills over there, and like with like tuition and everything. I would say yeah.
So would you say you're like overwhelmed because like of how expensive Western is?
Not necessarily like how expensive Western is, but like with like classes and everything, like I want to get like some more hours, but I know that I shouldn't because of casework, because of course load, with like my different classes and like I have like other responsibilities with like money, which I feel like are like accumulating, so it's like a monthly stressor.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're balancing like a lot of things, like you said, work, as in working more hours, and then school because of all that course load, and then you like wanting to do more, but like you're limited because of that time frame.
Yeah, I feel like I want to get like more involved, but it is hard because like I want to work, but then also like homework because like I'm here for school, but it's not just school. Like I also want to have like a social life and like meet new people and stuff.
Kind of sounds like you're lost, no? Because you have like a lot of things, but like you want to act on it, but at the same time you like don't want to act on it.
Yeah, like there's like things that like I like want to do, but like know that I probably shouldn't because like I have to like prioritize like a different thing. So right now it's like a lot of like prioritizing my time as well as like my energy.
So where does most of your priorities lie with?
My priorities are like first with school and then with like my family. My mom doesn't drive my family and I live at like home, so I'm usually like taking like my brother and sister to like doctor's appointments or dentist appointments or whatever. And like my schooling, like I do that also at home.
Sounds like you have a lot of responsibility with like driving around like your mom and your brothers and sisters and your whole family, and then coming to school as well, and then work and everything.
Yeah, it is a lot, and it does get like now that I say it, it seems like a lot, but it's something that I'm like just like so used to ever since I was in high school. But like being in Bellingham and like being at a 4-year like institution where like this is like takes you on to like your life, it just kind of feels different.
If you did stay over there at home, would you say that you would still be like involved or more involved in the school, like community college, because it is like a lot closer?
I would say that there would be a higher possibility of me getting more involved, mainly because like it's like 10 minutes away from like my house versus like the 25 minutes that Western is. So it would have been easier to get more involved. However, I know that it would just be for 2 years, and then I would still have to make like that transition over here, which I wonder how like the transition would have been different.
So what positives could you find about coming here to Western?
I built a lot of like strong connections with people that I didn't really expect to make, which was really nice. So like people that I consider like my friends even now in my starting like my third year, I met my freshman year, which I would never have met had I done my 2 years at a community college before. Um, I'm involved with like my old high school because kind of like advocating for students to go into like higher education, and I'm a part of that, and then as well as like being part of like the ESC clubs here on campus, which I don't think I would have got involved had I just gotten into Western like this year.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you really like appreciate everything that you like, even though you said that you've thought about like what it would be like to be over at the community college. You also appreciate like everything that you do have going on today, like at Western.
Yeah, I definitely do. It would have been a big change had I done like the 2 years. So I don't regret coming straight to Western, but I do say that it is overwhelming, especially being like a first generation student, like kind of not knowing how to navigate anything. But like I had like my support system and like my roommates and stuff who were also first gen and who I had known previously, which was really nice. So it was just really nice to have like people to talk to and people who are going through like similar things.
Yeah, I know that you said that you rely on your friends for like support, but were there any like support services here offered at Western for you as a first generation student?
There were offered. I would say that I didn't really take like advantage of them, seeing as I wasn't comfortable really going to like those. I would say that I didn't really see myself like represented in the people who were like offering these like resources, which is also like why I want to go into like human services and like work with children, not necessarily like at a college level, but maybe like elementary or like high school level. Because since I didn't see like myself represented, I didn't want to take advantage of those resources, and I could see them going through like a similar mindset. But yeah.
So would human services be offered if you had stayed over at a community college or like transferred before coming into Western?
So before going into human services, I was really set on teaching, specifically secondary education, and even coming into Western, like I was in a teaching route. It wasn't until last year that I even knew that human services was like something that I would even be interested in. And being at the 2-year college, I don't think I would have gone into human services. I think I would have gone straight into teaching, which would have been completely different.
Yeah, so are you glad that you actually like did come over to Western, because now you're experiencing like a whole different major and a whole different like experiences here?
Yeah, I'm definitely glad because it did expose me to like this to this major and made me realize that like although I do want to work with like kids and like people of the community, I don't want to be in a classroom setting teaching, which I didn't really realize earlier on.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like if you had stayed over at the community college, because you have had like thoughts about how your life would be like if you had stayed, that you probably would have still been like on the course to become like a teacher, and you probably would have been involved like in the clubs there, but you would still have all the responsibility of like with your family and work and school. But now that you are at Western, you're kind of realizing that you have like a support system with your friends, and you have resources here for you, and like that human services is the correct pathway for you. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other things you would like to talk about for this session?
Not for this session, but for like the next session, I would like to talk about stress maybe and like self-care.
Yeah, sounds great. We could definitely talk about that next time.
Okay, great.
Okay. Lit.